Dan 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 Dan. Hello and welcome to the Dan and Not Dan Sports Show. I'm your host, Professional Dan. Week 1 of NFL action is over. Meticulous Dan, what have you been obsessively researching? I was surprised by the poor statistics by rookie running backs in their debut, so I've been comparing them against other highly drafted rushers. Interesting findings that don't look good for CJ Spiller and Jahvid Best. And we'll get to your findings soon. Drunk Dan, you've got a big Redskins victory to celebrate. What are you drinking? I'm celebrating in style. Smirnoff Martini, extra dry, and the olives just there for the look. I'll take it when you're done. I love olives. And that's Not Dan, who stands for everything Dan doesn't. Like olives. Well, we had a lot of great matchups this opening week, so we expected close games. What final outcome surprised each of you the most? I was actually surprised by Oakland's ineptitude against the Titans. It was a chance to make a statement, and they were lifeless. In my Survivor League, I had to choose between picking Tennessee over Oakland, or San Diego over Kansas City. And I picked wrong. I thought the Chiefs were on the rise, but I didn't see it coming in week 1. Seattle killing San Francisco blew my mind. That wasn't supposed to happen. Meticulous Dan, what do you think was the most interesting stat line of the week? I'm calling it a tie between Jahvid Best, 14 rushes for 20 yards, a 1.4 average, and CJ Spiller, 7 rushes for 6 yards, a 0.9 average. Those are among the worst opening night numbers for rookie running backs in the past 6 years or so. Of course, you can't judge much from just one game. Actually, you can. The best rookie seasons for a running back in recent years, Chris Johnson, Marshawn Lynch, Adrian Peterson, Matt Forte, Cadillac Williams, all started with solid week 1 performances. To whom do Best and Spiller stack up in terms of their debut? They're between J.J. Arrington and Cedric Benson. Bad company in terms of rookie success. Not Dan. What overly hasty conclusion do you have to make after 1 week? The Jets clearly are not a Super Bowl team after all. Wrong. They were against a very good team. It's not that I think they'll win it, but it's much too early to count them out. Here's who we can count out. I made this board myself. Here I can cross out everybody who I think I can safely say will not win the Super Bowl. Losing to Tampa Bay, you just can't do that. They might be the only team I would have crossed out last week. They're a puzzle with half the pieces missing still. But that's it. Just Cleveland, Tampa Bay, St. Louis. But there will be more next week. Who deserves to lose their jobs after week 1? Whoever wrote the rules about what is and isn't a catch. Alex Barron, the Cowboys' right tackle. He was an embarrassment. No, he's good. He can stay. Jim Mora Jr. needs to lose yet another job. In the booth for the Falcons-Steelers game, he killed the chemistry of Dick Stockton and Charles Davis, and offered about as much football insight as the guy behind you at the stadium. You know who I'm talking about. I say bench Matt Moore, even if he's healthy. It's time to see what Jimmy Clausen can do. Clausen's not ready yet. That's the worst thing you could do. I want to see the Redskins auditioning punters. Josh Bidwell let a snap fly through his hands, causing a missed field goal, and proceeded to let loose some lousy punts, including a 27-yarder that set up the Cowboys' only score. It's worth keeping an eye on Bidwell. He had some bad punts in the preseason, too. This week's MVP is a pretty obvious choice. Arian Foster, giving the Texans a win over the Colts by rushing for more yards than any Texan ever has, and more impressively, more yards than anyone has ever had over the Colts. But, Drunk Dan, we're going to give you a chance every week to offer a toast to a player who might not be getting the deserved credit. Who gets it this week? My toast this week goes to LaRon Landry, whose number 30 Redskins jersey I just happen to own. Last year, the Idiot Squad coaching staff had him in deep coverage, the one thing he doesn't do well. This year, Jim Haslett has him flying to the ball, and he now leads the NFL in tackles. Very nice. Looking ahead to next week, where do you smell an upset? Not Dan? I think Tampa Bay could steal one on the road in Carolina and go to 2-0. What's your upset special, Meticulous Dan? Last year, the Broncos took the momentum from a win that shouldn't have been theirs and won the next 5. The same thing could happen for the Bears, with this one coming at Dallas. Drunk Dan? I am just drunk enough to think the Jaguars could beat the Chargers. What are your thoughts on Reggie Bush giving back his Heisman Trophy? It should be given to the runner-up, Vince Young. I don't think Vince Young should win it. With Reggie no longer one of them, the list of Heisman winners who went on to NFL success is even thinner. The world of NCAA behavior standards is weird and confusing, and I wonder if there's anything college football players are actually allowed to do. Another feature we hope to do regularly is to have Meticulous Dan introduce you to a college player who impressed him. Who did you like this week? The Houston Cougars have a junior running back named Bryce Bell, who was untackleable against UTEP. He used blockers well and changed speeds to make people miss. He's hungry for yards without being reckless, so from one game, he looks like exactly what I would want in an NFL running back. One last thing. Drunk Dan, you wanted to do some impressions for us? Yeah, I did. Check this out. This is Mike Smith calling a timeout trying to ice the kicker. Timeout, timeout, timeout! And this is Mike Tomlin calling a timeout to ice the kicker. Timeout. Excellent work. And that'll do it for us. See you next time on the Dan, and Not Dan Sports Show. Dan, 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 Dan.